So we're heading down to Opperington and we're going to meet Christina, who's a Muay Thai boxer, and she's going to put me through my paces. And then more importantly, we're going to learn all about her story from training in Thailand to where she's at now. And I'm excited, I'm nervous, I'm hoping that my little bit of background in martial arts is going to help me. But yeah, ultimately this is all about me just putting myself outside my comfort zone and putting my money where my mouth is, and no she who dares wins. Just watched Christina do an amazing warm-up and the power is immense. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit nervous, heart rate's going, but I'm excited and I'm massively inspired by just seeing that warm-up. So yeah, wish me luck. I'm going to need it. I got this, I'm sure. Right, I'm ready. Yeah. So you're going to stand 5 to 2. That makes any sense. So a little bit more. That's it, there you go. And that's going to be a jab, that's going to be a cross. So just nice and easy to begin with. Hands up just here. Jab. Release. As you jab, little step. Bam. Good. And again. Bam. Cross. Bam. Good. And again. 1, 2. Bam. Bam. Good. Cross. Uppercut. Nice. Cross. Release. Good. Nice kick. Bam. Good. So difference with karate, you got that nice snap.
Yeah.
But in Muay Thai, we're going to get more power. So the way we do that, so you're going to step open, come round and through that way.
So step that open.
Yes, and the leg's a little bit straighter, so there's not much of a snap.
Okay.
So try and get a bit of a straighter leg. Bam, good. So you want to land with the shin, not the foot. Bam, better. Slight lean back. Bam, yes, much better. Keep that hand there. And a nice big hip, bam. Bam, good. And again. Bam, good. Knee. Bum, good, a little bit higher.
Is this part?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you want to land with the point here, and to make the knee sharp, you point that toe down. Yeah, good. And again, knee. Bum, good. So that one stays up. Keep your balance. And again. Bum, good. Cross. Release. 1, 2, hook, cross. 1, 2, hook, cross. Good. Hook, cross. So elbows nice and tight. And again. 1, 2, hook, cross. Good. Cross. Nice kick. Bum. Less foot, more shin. Good, and again. Good, now for the teep, it's like a push kick. So you're going to aim just here with the front leg. Good, push. So from here, imagine you've got a piece of string on the end of your knee.
Yeah.
But, nice big punch. High knee, bum, good. High knee, bum, good. And use that hand, bum, as a counterbalance. Good, cross. Release, nice tight elbow, cross. Bum, good, moving around. Good, jab, jab. Bum, bum, cross. Uppercut, hook, cross. Uppercut, hook. Cross, good, and again, uppercut, hook, cross. Hold that hook out for me. Good, so that one's going to, exactly. Turn your hip a bit more. Good, that's going to be your hook just there. Try not to avoid that, because I can come down. Bam, my elbow there. So nice and tall, hook there. Good, uppercut, hook, cross. Uppercut, hook, cross. Keep that hand nice and tight on that side. Uppercut, hook, cross, good, and again. Uppercut, hook, cross, knee. Bum, good.
Okay, so firstly, I wanted to say thank you for that sparring session. It was amazing. But I also want you to kind of tell me about how you got into this, how it all started at the age of 10.
The reason I ended up here, originally was doing kickboxing, but the gym closed down. Been doing martial arts since I was 4. Karate, taekwondo, and then kickboxing, and eventually found my way here. And it kind of became a necessity for like bullying, things like that, giving me the confidence to go about life. And I loved it.
And then your transition to just jetting off to Thailand, like what?
So this is like 20 years later. So I've been doing in the sport in and out. Took 7 years break. Stopped when I was 22. I thought I was too old, too fat. It's not for me. You know, 15 years ago, if you were 28, you're an old fighter. You know, which is just such a strange concept now, because having gone to Thailand, I've met female fighters that are in their 40s. And it gives me hope, it gives me that encouragement and that inspiration. So I got to 29, I'm absolutely miserable. I'm technically in the best job, it's what I studied. I do enjoy it, but something was missing and I just felt really miserable, and I think I was actually probably clinically depressed. I was the heaviest I'd ever been, considering the environment that I was working in. And I thought, I'm just gonna try once more. No intention of fighting, just go there to see if, 1, I still enjoy it, and 2, I just needed to break away and just have that time to find that out on myself. Got there and yeah, the question answered literally on the first day. I went, yeah, I love this. I feel I'm the heaviest I've ever been, but I'm the happiest I've ever been. I wasn't expecting to fight because I knew that there wouldn't be anyone my weight, and I kind of fell into that, and my trainers were saying to me, no, you're ready. And I didn't believe them. I'm thinking, I'm not ready. I'm so pleased that I got that fight in, because I was always told I couldn't fight unless I was below 80 kilos. At the time of that fight, I was 100 kilos. So I'm so pleased I did that, because I proved a lot to myself as well. No matter what weight I am now, I'll step in the ring. I know it'd be a challenge the heavier I am, but there's not that fear anymore of, am I gonna be, yeah, I did get judged, 100%. Instagram was free for all, like attacking, like, it did get too much. For one particular day I actually had to mute everything. But it gave me, again, I flipped it, and that gave me the strength. Actually, if this is the worst it's gonna get, this is for me, I can fight, and I want to keep fighting.
So the experience in Thailand then was like a good one?
Oh, amazing.
The negativity was purely like social, or to a certain extent your own internal feelings of like you're questioning, but from an outside perspective with the Thais, you were there to fight, and they respected that.
And they saw me as a Nak Muay Thai fighter. They saw me as that.
Which is incredible.
Yes, and that was what I was wanted as well, because I've always been a bit heavy. I've never been the ideal weight to fight in England. I would say it quite blatantly. I'd say, but I'm fat, and they say, no, it's okay. Yes, you fat, but you champion. I had a long way to go, but they were happy to support me and get me fight ready for the weight that I currently was, because to them experience is everything, and the more experience you can get regularly, the better. Even now I have my days of imposter syndrome. It's, oh, can I actually do that? Is that comment right, what they've said? Do they have a point? And it's silencing that negative brain. You know, your brain is designed to protect you. Mm-hmm. So that protection part is saying, don't do this. This is gonna hurt. Your feelings are gonna get hurt. I'm just saying, I'm ignoring that brain and saying, no, actually, there's more to just fighting. Let's say I never fight again. I hope in my generation that I'm at least an advocate for women to fight being heavy. You know, I want to create a women's heavyweight division because it's not recognised. I at least want to prove that, yeah, do you know what? I'm 100 kilos, but I kick like an 80 kilo person.
Yeah.
I'm fast.
Yeah.
I don't carry my weight the way that you'd expect. Yeah. Walking around, you wouldn't expect me to be able to, and that took a while for me to be able to say that out loud and actually praise myself for that. And say, actually, do you know what? I am good at this.
It's really hard for me to like take that on board, because just watching you out there before I stepped in, and I'm no expert to say that, but your technical ability and the power is just
Thank you.
Like, it is incredible. And you don't need me to tell this, but there are going to be so many girls out there that see you and like think, okay, let's.
And that was what started off with the main direction that I wanted with my Instagram. I wanted to silence the naysayers as well, saying, you know, you can't fight if you're overweight. You can.
Yeah.
It's hard, but you can.
Yeah.
You're going to be tired, but you can.
Yeah.
And then somewhere along that journey, I went, this isn't the end of this journey. Even if it means I need to adhere to the WBC rules or other promotions to actually get my weight down, this is what I want to do. But I'm not going to pressurize myself. If I can at least open up doors for other women.
Like you say, when you had that period where you weren't doing it, now that you're coming back into it, I think that's got a lot to show for as well. Like, people are going to really resonate with that. It's not too late. And
it's not too late. I get messages from people saying, I'm 30, is it too late? No.
Yeah. Please no, because I'm 40 next year.
It's not too late. It's never too late. I know someone who started 3 years ago and she's had 8 fights already in Thailand. She's not amazingly technical, but she's living her dream and she's pursuing her dreams.
Yeah.
She wants to fight because she's realised that that's what makes her happy. I get so many messages, they're saying, I really want to do Muay Thai, but I don't want to fight. I'm like, it's okay, you don't have to fight.
Yeah.
I think there's this perception that if you do Muay Thai or boxing, it's expected of you to do interclubs or be on a fight card or do something like that. You don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to even spar with your coach. You don't have to do the sparring class. If you want to just learn how to box or learn how to do Muay Thai, you can do exactly that and not get hit in the face. You just do pad work.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing the art without having to do something you're uncomfortable with. I have a client who comes and she goes, you're not going to hit me, are you? I said, no, I'm not going to hit you. You can come, do pad work, hit the bag. It doesn't require you getting hit or hitting another person. You don't have to be aggressive. It's literally moving meditation and therapy.
How important is it that we get young girls thinking about trying these new things, trying boxing, and then just, have you seen also the change in kids that you've worked with in their mental health? Again,
the perception, they think they're going to be judged, that intimidation, that doesn't exist. So if people are watching this and they have that feeling, I'm telling you, it doesn't exist. When they turn up, it's that feeling of facing the fear of it and also not expecting to look pretty. When you work out, you're meant to look ugly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think it's humbling.
It is, yeah.
You know, I think everyone is so caught up with trying to look pretty on Instagram. I look like shite most of the time because I'm sweaty and it's Thailand and I've just done 5 rounds and someone's come around with the camera and I got to pull everything out my ass in the last 5 seconds. You're gonna screw up. You're gonna throw a punch wrong because it's the first punch you've ever thrown. It's never gonna be perfect.
Yeah. What is, I guess, like a final question is, where do you see this? I know, like, you don't want to put timescales on stuff, but what's the biggest thing that you want from, like, I guess the next? Sounds like one of those really bad job interviews. Where do you see yourself?
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? One of the biggest things I want to see is just more diversity. There's that little gap. So in my lifetime, I would just want to see more diversity. Let's say in 10 years' time, there is a weight division that is for heavy weights, but real heavy weights.
Yeah.
There is an advantage to weight cutting. I'm not going to deny that. There is an obvious reason why we weight cut, and that's to gain an advantage on our opponent. I get it, but not to have the adverse effects of my health, dehydration, or, you know, for women especially, menstrual cycles, mental health, disordered eating. It's risky, and I actually went through that. You know, I had disordered eating because I felt like I was never good enough. Oh, I'm never gonna be able to hit 54 kilos. I might as well stay at 70. Yeah, that would be, even if I never fight again or I never get my weight down to be able to get rankings, to be able to get sponsorship, that never happens. I want to at least be known for pushing that. I wish I knew what I knew now 15, 20 years ago, because I'd be a different person completely. Whatever's holding you back, it's just you trying to protect yourself.
Yeah.
That's all.